Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 18 of our Pure Logic playthrough of the Artisan of Glimmith. We've solved 154 puzzles so far. We have an unknown number remaining. We're about to start a new section here, the Polyomino section. So the Polyomino says it depicts the shape of its region. So this... so this is showing it has to be a 1x2. This has to be a 1x4. 1x4 that has to be a 1. So this has to be a plus. That's forced. This has to be an L. That's forced. This has to be a 1 point. Well, has to be a 2. This has to be a 3. Just like that. All right. This has to be an S. This has to be an S. This has to be an S. 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 Done. Okay, we're still doing polyominoes. This could be a 1x4 going down, or it could be a going across, but let's start with the 2x2s. Those are pretty forced. This 1x4 does not go up, so that's going to force. This will be a 2x2. This 2x2 cannot go to the left, so it's going to go, can't go to the right, it has to go to the left. Same with this one. This way. Polyomino. There we go. There. We go there. There. Yeah. So this one was a leftover region. Not a problem. Okay. 1x4. That's not going up. So that's going to have to go this way. This is an S region. It can't take that. It's a square. This guy's forced to be that shape. This is an L. And that's it. We got two, it looks like two different paths here. Okay, that looks like a different rule set. Let's go this way. All right, some more polyomino. So this has to come out, this has to come out, this has to come out. This can't be any of the others, so it has to come up. The hint here says you don't have to place whole shapes at once. It can be useful to color an incomplete part of a shape, and that's what we're doing here. Now this V cannot go to the left, so it's gonna go to the right, which means this can't go up, it has to go down. This can't go to the right, it has to go left, and now this one has to go up. Let's complete all the lines. And that's the solution. All right, we'll go this direction. All right, that's forced. This one could go up or down. We don't know which one. This one. That's forced. This one is forced. Now this one's forced. Then this one's forced. This one's forced. That one's forced. This one's forced. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Draw the lines or just color the dots. This is probably faster to this. There we go. So the key here was just finding that starting point to break in. Ooh, look, there's a hidden one down here. Ooh, my goodness. What? How do I can't even zoom in down there. Like there's all these puzzles down here. Man, okay. I think I'm gonna do this one right here. All right, we're doing S shapes. So that's an S, that's an S. This has to be an L, this has to be an L, this has to be an S, S, L, L, S, S, L, S, S, L, L. Okay. 1x3, S, a V, a U, an L. All right, we got some F pentominoes. All right, so I don't think these are in the same region. Or if they are, it's like this. But then this one have to be like that. That probably is the answer. So when you, the F, there's only, it's either this, but then this can't be an F, or it's this. And this is what it has to be. So this is a different F, and that's the only way you can do it. All right, we've got all kinds of crazy. Okay, this is a 3x4, 2x4, 2x2, 3x3, 2x2. So one thing we say, these are all different regions. If this one comes up, then this one has to come out somehow. It can't go up and down, which I think breaks this one. It does. This one cannot go horizontally. Because this is not the same region as this. It has to go at least 3. Yep. So this has to be vertical. It can not. So it's at least these 3. It could go like this, and then this could go like this, and that's there. Anyways, but we know that this has to go this direction. This one has to come down at least 3. It's going to have to come over at least 1. It could go over in both directions once, or it could go over 1 and come down. This has to come out. This cannot go up 4. So it's going to take this. So this now is under a lot of pressure because it can come over this way and this way. And that's forced. All right, this one now cannot go to the side. This can't go to the side. Wait, don't do that. This still needs to grow. This has to come out. This has to grow. This has to go here. This goes here. Oh, wait a second. What am I doing? This is a 2x3. It can also go this direction. I'm just starting with this. This has to grow both directions. This has to grow, this has to grow, this has to grow, this has to grow. Fill in the corners. All right, we got 2 1x2s. We got a 1x3. we've got a 2 by 5. Well, this has to go down this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has to grow at least, even if it was all of these, it would have to take this one. And if it went all the way here, it'd have to take this one. So these are all part of this. And then either both of these or one of each. But that forces this one cannot go that way. It goes this way. This goes that way. That goes this way. This now has to grow one more this way because it's not going up into that corner anymore. This is vertical. This is horizontal, vertical, vertical, vertical. This has to take this direction. That takes that. There, 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 and there. All right. Lots of squares. And then we got this kind of offsetting one. So the squares, obviously, you're going to share the same in a lot of the cases. But like once we start one of the patterns, it's going to kind of force it around the... It's basically one of two orientations, and one of them's wrong. Like, do those two go together and these two go together like that? Or do these go together, these go together? Well, that's what I just did. Or is it these and these? And this doesn't work. That's going to force that one in there. So this guy right here, these three, they're the ones that cannot do this. So this one can come up here, except for it orphans that one. If it comes up here, it still orphans that one. So this one can't go up, it has to go down. So this is where we start right here. Now this one takes that one, this one takes this one. We just go around. All right, we got our first stage of the window. I guess we're going to try to get down here and get into these other. All right, this is a 3. It's going to have to go that direction. This has to go this direction. Ooh. Oh. Okay, the shape bank's in play. So it has to be a 2 or a 3. So this is going to have to be a 2. This cannot go up because then that's an orphan cell. So that's going to go there. This comes out, could be a 3, but whatever it is, it's not this one. So this one comes up, this one comes over, this one comes down, this one comes down, that one comes over. All right, we're stuck with, we can do 1x2s or crosses. So with this as a cross, it could be that, but it also could be offset like this. This being a cross, I mean, that's forced. There's no way to do that. So that's there. Then that has to be a 2. That has to be a 2. This is a cross. That has to be a 2. This is going to have to be a cross. That's going to be a 1x2. That's going to be a 1x2. So this is going to be a cross. 1x2, 1x2, 1x2. 1x2, 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 1x2. All right, we have to either use the L's or the corner piece. This corner piece comes up. It's either going to go left or right, but this one this L has to come up. So this corner piece turns. So that one comes up like that. This corner piece has to do this. So this is not the same as that one. But this is a oh, no, it's not. We have to do an L there, an L there, an L here. All right, this cannot go to the left, so it's going to have to go up at least one. This creates a 1x3. That doesn't work, so we have to do that. And there we go. All right, that's a square. It's either a square or a P. So this is the P. This is a P. That's a square. This is a P. That's a P. That's a P. That's a square. There's one way. Oh man, there's a bunch of them way back here. All right, we got a V. Now the V could be this. That's the obvious version. It also could be that. This, the big O. I think is it forced? Is that forced? I can't shift it up because of this. I can't shift it down because of that. And I can't make this line. Wait, hold on. I could do this. That's possible. Okay. Except for it's not. Because of this one. I can't solve that L. Yeah, I don't see how this one, this can't be on the edge. Yeah, it has to go this way, but that breaks this one. Okay, I'm missing the, it can't go that way. And see, and this doesn't work, right? That's the wrong shape. Can't go up here. What am I missing? So, okay, let's look at this. This doesn't work because there's no way to do a W in this section. This doesn't work because there's no way to do an L. Oh no, there is still, I can do an L down here. I can do an L. I can go out this way. So that's the direction. Okay, so this is the L. This is a 3. W has to come up like this. The V now is forced this direction. The S gonna have to go like that. Got a U. There's your U. There's your P. There's your corner. I don't know why I couldn't see the L working down there. All right, we need to get this here. We can either use the corner pieces or super mega big stretch. So this is something like that. And that works. It does work. Or it seems to work. We could do it here. We got, this does not work. Well, okay, let's look at this one again. Does not work because of that. Does not work because of that. These are dead spots. This doesn't work because of that. So we do something like this, we got a problem because we can't fill the shape in with the, like that space doesn't work. So we have to lasso one of these, but we can't offset it. So I think we have to do something like this, that we leave space in the middle. Then we can then we can work our way around the edges. All right, so this has to come out. This is gonna have to come down like this. This has to come here. This has to come there, here, 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 here. This is all about just finding where the circle goes. All right, any more down there? Yes, there is. All right, we only can use 1x3s and the corner pieces. All right, if this cannot go up, so this is horizontal, and it can't go like this because it breaks that one off. It could go here, so it has to take this one at a minimum, which means this one has to come out. This comes up. That is a 1x3. That's a 1x3. That's a 1x3. That's that. Okay, this could be a 1x3, but then that would have to be a 1x3. That doesn't work, so we have to make both of these corners. Now we're at the bottom down here. This has to be a 1x3. If I make it like this, we have a problem because this can't come out. So this has to come at least to here. All right, let's do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this one takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So either, yeah. So like if this is one way to get 6 in here with this one taking this space. But if this one doesn't take this space, then this has to go into here, and this has to be that, and that has to be that. This comes out, this comes out, this comes out. That's a corner. Silver. All right, are there any more down here? Oh, a lot more just lit up. All right, that's a 6. Let's come over here and do this one. All right, we got a Z. Well, Z has to go like that. This has to be that long S. I forget what this is called. I call it the S, I don't remember. But this has to be a V. All right, this is a T. That's the only way that's going to work. This is a P. It could come into here, but it's going to take this at least. This is going to come out and come up here. That's going to be its own region. That's its own region. That's its own region. This is forced, and this is forced. Oh, we got some more down here. Okay, where do I start? I mean, this W is interesting. The only way I see a W fitting is right like that. But it could also be offset. Could also invert it. So handful of ways there. What about this guy? We got a Z pentomino. That's either like this or like that, right? It can't go the other direction. I could offset it and go up like this. But I think at a minimum, these two are part of the Z. Let's look at this J looking thing. It could go around like that, but then that messes up the Z. That doesn't work. I can go around like this. That's going to push the Z in a little bit. But I mean, that's really the only two options. And this option just doesn't work for the Z. Yeah, that is that option. So the Z either extends out this way or this way. I don't know which one. This has to be an S. That's forced. This guy then has to grow out like that, which means the W has to grow like this. This S has to grow like that. This L cannot go down because that'll break the 3. So it's going to be forced to do this. The 3 goes straight across. That forces the Z like this. And that's that one. Ooh, we got some G's and 2's. Okay, how in the world do I draw this? And this the same one as this? So let me just figure out how this fits. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, and it takes up 5 of them. So this cannot be one of the long lines. So it could be something like this. No, because that's going to hit there. Okay, so what if it's long line like this? Like that? That's the orientation. And then it's... Nope. That doesn't work. So what if we start the other direction? No, that's not going to work either because of this. These both create... So if I go this way, like that, like that, like that, these are all connected now. That's very interesting. Very, very forced pattern recognition of how to get that G into the puzzle. Got this one hidden back here. This is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could go either way. This is a 2. That's a 1, so that's forced. Let's take the easy ones. This is going to go horizontal. This goes horizontal. It sticks out. This has to go horizontal, so it's going to stick out. So this one has to go horizontal. It's going to stick out. This one has to go vertical now. So this one has to go vertical. So this one has to go horizontal. So that one has to go vertical. This one has to go that way. That way. That's something special. This is vertical, horizontal, horizontal, vertical, and that's the one. Are there any more down there? Way down there. Difficulty 5. Okay. Let's see if we can fill these in. All right, this one's a forest region. This is going to be like that. This T could go up, over, you have the T going out that way. It could go, no, it can't do this. Because that's going to break this off. And it can't do that because it breaks it off as well. So I think the T has to go out like this and either be on this end or on this end. Because if it goes like this in any way, that can't be a T. That breaks that off. That orphans it. It just can't really go to the left. And this doesn't work. Yeah, so it has to go to the right like this somehow. So this is 1 by 3. It's going to have to go up. It's not going to be able to go over. This is either go all the way to the bottom or come around. This could come up. All right, so this here cannot, this one cannot go to the right. I'm sorry, to the, or no, it can. It can go to the left. This is not broken off. That can still come out. This is a little harder to fill in. Something like that. Or like that. It can't really go this way. It could go this way. Something like that. Even that would work. This could definitely go into the corner. It could come over here. I guess the question is, I think this always comes in here like this, right? This is probably what I need to look at. This has to come in here like this because there's no way it can't get the 3 length here. And there's, well, no, there's this. There's that. But this fails for a different reason. This doesn't work because this has to grow. And now how do I make a T? I've taken up both spots. So that I can't extend it out that direction. And there's no other place to go down. So this is the downspout, which means that is the T. So this is up, that extends, that extends, that extends. This is getting stuff going. This extends. That's the solo. All right. This can no longer go vertically. So this has to be something like that. So one of these 3 spots is the, well, it's not like this because that cuts off. It could be like that. Maybe. I think that creates problems over here because then this is going here and that's going here. And what's that one do? So how do we solve these? Okay, I think that's the critical thing. No matter what this does, this takes up these 2 slots, which forces this one over, forces this one down, and this now has to do something like that. So this has to do something like this. That has to do this. This has to do that. And now this guy is super, super scrunched. So he's going to have to do something like that, that, and then fill in the spaces. All right. Well, folks, we do have some more puzzles still to do on the Polyomino window, but this is where we're going to take our break. Thank you guys for supporting the series. Like, subscribe, do all that good jazz. I do hope to see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.